Okay, so Stacy was the producer who came to the house and did the interview, and it was really pretty simple and easy. My hair, I looked like a crazy person that I realized later. You know how you think you look good and then you realize later that you look ridiculous. Anyway, I looked ridiculous. But just real simple, sound bites, done. And then after a couple days I went to the studio early. I had a car pick me up at 4 a.m., which is incredibly way too early. I don't think Dr. Phil is, getting up at 4 a.m., especially since the show doesn't even start until like 9 or 10. But I guess that's how long it takes for makeup. No, I had to go early so that I could do another COVID test in the morning before the show. And then they had us go into the dressing room, and this was the funny part, is like they have hair and makeup, and I'm like, oh, I brought my own clothes, it's fine. And they're like, can we see what you brought? And they laid out my clothes, and they're like, no, we'll get you something. And they said, what do you wear when you dress up? I was like, these are my dress up clothes. And then she brought some stuff in, and she goes, well, how about this? And she had like this weird kind of like satiny weird dress, and I said no, and she's like, well, why not? And I said, because those are ugly. And she's like, those are beautiful dresses. And then I was like, oh great, I offended the Dr. Phil wardrobe stylist. Like, this is not gonna go well.
Well, they probably wanted you to look like a cult member. And you were like, no, I'm bohemian, and I'm gonna...
yeah, no, I still look like a cult member and wear hippie skirts. No, so they gave me some clothes to dress up, some slacks, and ended up looking... And then I asked specifically, I'm like, I'm gonna need a leopard print heel to go with this shirt then? And they're like, we'll find you, we'll get you that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so, in order to make it,
so funny. It's so you.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not wearing black boots with these pants, though. I'll need it like a leopard print heel, thanks. Or snake skin, and I got that. So anyway, then I went and it happened really fast at that point. Then I went to the side of the stage, and they had separated me from the other girls that were going to be on the show, and then they called, then the show started, and I was standing there, and they were all of the employees have to be in different zones, and so it wasn't like there was a lot of people around me. But then it was like Dr. Phil came on, Robin came on, they did their whole little thing, and then they're like, did a little introduction, and your first guest, it's Amber, and I walked out, and I was the only one on the stage with Dr. Phil, which I was not expecting to be the first or the only one on the stage for the beginning part, and I sat down and basically told my story, and then after that, there was a commercial break thing happening, and then they went back, and then they said, and then here's the other girls, and then the other girls came out one by one, and they asked each girl like a couple of questions, and then they asked us questions as a group, and then we were done. It was really easy. And then after that, everybody got in their car and went home happily ever after. So now we're gonna have to see what people's thoughts are about the episode, and it'll be showing on the 26th. Meanwhile, we're getting out of here.
We're on a road trip.
That's what it's like to be on the Dr. Phil show. The good news is I did come from a point of view of being empowered, and I did stress that my life now is flourishing, that I'm not in a bad place, that life is great, I'm successful. Life happened tough in the beginning, and I learned a lot of lessons there, and have moved on to build a great life. And I think that needs to be the most important part. Also advocating for young girls that are still out there, or young boys, like children, or even animals. I like to have a voice for those that don't have a voice. That's really my thing as a result of living in a cult.
That's a good repercussion.
Thanks. That's it.